Hey there, welcome to visualimpactforwomen.com. My name is Rusty Moore, and what you're looking at here is a presentation I made about getting the slim, sexy, fit, and feminine look. And before I get started, I want to explain to you why you should spend your time, watching this video and why this site's different than the gazillion other fitness sites that are online, and how I can offer you a unique perspective on a problem that's out there. And here's the problem. Most of the fitness tips and fitness information that's being delivered to women teaches women how to become miniature versions of guys. And what I mean by that is, like a woman that gets in really good shape as far as the fitness industry is concerned. She has a six-pack abs and really good shoulders and lats and traps like that, and definition that's almost identical to a guy's, but just smaller versions of that. Well, I don't believe that that is the goal of the general female population, and they've had to take a lot of those routines and water them down or change them up in a different way to fit themselves. And tons of women have even quit the gym because they start working out and their jeans get tight. And the trainer says, well, you can't put on as much muscle as a guy because you don't have the testosterone level to do so. Well, if the lady gets bigger muscles than what she wants, that's more than what she wants, and the trainer's not listening. So this whole presentation is going to address that, about how the fitness industry just has some huge problems when it comes to knowing how to train women, and I'm also going to explain to you my solution for that. So let's get rolling with that if that sounds good to you, okay? So to begin with, as you'll see in this picture here, I show a picture of a woman in a dress, and that's on purpose. I don't want to show a lady bench pressing or squatting or doing lunges or sweating and drinking out of a water bottle. Because the one thing I realize is that women, when they train, after listening to tons of women, they train because they want to look good in their day-to-day lives. They want to look good when, just when they're going to school or to their job, or to a formal event. They want to be able to fit nicely into a dress or be able to pick out their favorite pair of jeans and look awesome. It isn't about just being able to look good when they're training in a gym. And unfortunately, that's kind of what the industry has become a little bit. So let's get rolling with this. So what women want versus what women get. Okay, I picked out two pictures. If I was to go downtown right now, I'm in Seattle, if I was to go downtown and stop the next 100 women and show them these two pictures and say, okay, which would you rather look like, the lady on the left or the lady on the right? And I'm not even going to judge or anything like that, but I'm guessing, out of those 100, 90 or more than 90 would much rather have a shape and look like the lady on the left versus the one on the right. I don't think women want to be muscular. I think they want to just be slim, look good in their clothes, and have a feminine, womanly feel when you look at them. That looks very girly, right? Again, I don't want to judge here. This lady's probably a bodybuilder, but the shoulders, arms, and back, that looks like my shoulders, arms, and back, except for I don't have long blonde hair, and I just have bigger muscles because I'm a guy, but it's not that different, so there should be a difference between men and women, and maybe you disagree, but I think that most won't. So let's keep rolling here. Okay, so this example is not as extreme as a previous picture, right? But this is an example of a typical women's fitness role model, and this is what, a lot of the fitness magazines and stuff like that, they act like this is the pinnacle of what a woman should look like. Like, this lady is in awesome shape, and this is what you should shoot for. Well, I still think that this is overdone. I don't think most women want to have veins going up their biceps, or I don't think they want to have, a ripped six-pack abs, or you have to get to that low body fat or even that muscle size. And again, this lady is in incredible shape, and she trains hard, and that good for her. She's probably a fitness model or something. But and again, I'm just talking about the girl that's just lives in the city or something like that. They don't want to look like this for the most part, and it's fine if they do, but I'm just saying, I'm guessing that 80%, I'm not even guessing, somewhere in the range of 80% or more would rather, not look as much like that. They'd rather look like that previous picture of the lady, on the sailboat. Welcome to the bizarre world of fitness, and the reason why I put this picture up here is I believe the fitness industry is it's a little bit different. You go into a gym, a lot of gyms anyways, and it doesn't feel like the trainers and stuff like that get it. It's like they're from a different planet almost. Like if I was to go downtown and just walk around and go to Pike Place Market and or just go and get a coffee, the people I run across are going to be a lot different than the people I run across in the gym. I don't know what it is. It's a strange subculture, and the reason why I want to point that out is if you go into a gym and feel a little odd and feel like an outsider, you're not alone. I think that most of us regular folks feel that way. And I've been training for 24 years in a gym straight, and I still feel disconnected from a lot of the people that typically go in a gym, that are there in the gym, on a regular basis, and the personal trainers and stuff. So I just wanted to point that out. So there's a huge disconnect in the fitness industry. They don't get it. The trainers aren't listening to what women are after. Again, this is a quote that I hear all the time too. I love the way training makes me feel, but hate the way it makes me look. And so what happens is a lady starts training with a personal trainer, and they get her on a lunge routine and squatting and just working to failure until she's shaking, kicking their butt, things like, those types of terms. And what happens is that the women, she tries on her jeans a week later and they're snug, and then pretty soon she can't fit into some of her clothes, and then she quits. And that's a shame, and I know how to avoid all of that, by the way, but let's keep rolling. The women that I know and talk to and stuff, they want to look beautiful on their wedding day. Or for instance, they want to look great, be able to keep up with their children, look like a fit and vibrant mom, being able to look youthful, or being a sexy mom. And there's nothing wrong with that. A woman should feel sexy her entire life. Or be able to fit into her favorite pair of jeans, or be able to go, jean shopping and have, be able to pick out stuff and fit into a bunch of different types of jeans rather than just one, right? Or feel confident in their new bikini and not have to hide or put on wrap a towel around their waist, and just, not be ashamed, just feel comfortable and not having ripped deltoids or biceps, but just having, being a slim, feminine figure. And this is my favorite, never to look, feel, or act like a senior citizen. So when I'm a senior citizen, I want to say, well, I'm a senior citizen, but I'm not like those people. I'm younger and vibrant and stuff like that. You don't want to be typical. Let other people be typical. You live once. Might as well be exceptional. So this is what women want. This lady looks fantastic, and she's over, in her 60s. So this is the type of thing. She doesn't want to be posing or anything like that. And so I know that, people aren't trained to be able to hit back double biceps poses. I had to look that up. I didn't even know what that shot was. But anyways, I know that posing is, people do it to be funny or whatever, but I don't think that's what most people are after, and certainly most women, for sure. That's not the deal. So I had to do something about this, and I discussed this a little bit earlier, but in 2007 I started a blog about getting the lean and toned Hollywood look. In 2008, I forget, it maybe took me about a year and a half later, maybe a little over a year later, something like that, I was getting over 2,000 visitors a day. But then it took on a life of its own, and now a couple of years later, these past 12 months, it's gotten 4 million visits and over 13 million page views. And this year it'll probably get in the 5 to 6 million visitor range. And it's not because of my writing. It's really because I hit upon a nerve, and I wrote it down, and I talked about it first. I think I just was the first person to really have a site that just focused on the lean Hollywood look, because there wasn't any site out there like it. And so it resonated with people, and now it's become its own little community, and there's tons of people that'll comment and help others and stuff like that. It's all on that subject. So it's become big. But those aren't the important stats. Really, the important stats are all the comments that I've received. So it's been over 20,000, and I don't have comments. When someone comments, it doesn't automatically get posted to the site. I have to read and approve each individual one. So I read every single comment that comes on. In the first 2 years, I answered every single comment. And at one point, at its peak, it was taking me 3.5 to 4 hours per day to respond to comments. So I decided I just couldn't do that anymore, but I still respond to some just randomly. But it was all dealing with the lean Hollywood look. So all of this knowledge and these tens of thousands of comments and millions of page views, and people sending me study after study about how to get leaner or easy, or how to diet properly. or how to do this exercise without getting bulky, or how to do this to tone up a muscle, all dealing with that lean Hollywood look. I believe it's given me the unique perspective that very few people can claim. That very few have the same degree of focus I've had in helping men and women achieve the lean Hollywood look. Like I said, I've trained in the gym 24 years, but I've had 4 years, but nothing of the most laser targeted. It's hard to explain the amount of reading and studying and tweaking of different techniques that I've used to help people over these past 4 years, just all dealing with the slim and lean look. I decided to take all that knowledge and package it together and create a comprehensive master course for women. What I'm calling it is Visual Impact for Women, and the reason why is last year I created Visual Impact Muscle Building for Men, and it was just a course for men to get that, to be able to look great in clothes and feel great and be healthy and strong without just gaining as much size as possible. And so I wanted to create a similar thing for women, but it's going to be a whole different workout scheme and different approach for sure. Because you're women, right? You want to train differently than guys, and I don't care what trainers say about not being able to put on muscle. You'll put on more muscle than what you want if you follow their advice. Most of the time. But the main manual here is 89 pages, and down below in the sales page, I'll explain to you more. I'll break down like some of the chapters and things and more subjects about what I'm talking about. But it's a full-blown few workout routines you can use both at home and in the gym. And you can use any exercises that you like. So for instance, if you love to use barbells or dumbbells or resistance bands, or you prefer lateral raises versus a military press, it's all customizable because you like the exercises you like. You don't like the exercises that I like or necessarily do. And I realize that. And it's limiting when a routine says, well, do dumbbell step-ups or kickbacks or whatever. And if you don't like certain things or they don't feel good to you, you feel forced to have to kind of go off course. Well, I encourage that to tweak the routine, and I talk about how to do that too. And I have a few chapters on diet, and one of the chapters is dieting for an event, and I have a protein-sparing modified fast, which is a way to get super lean in a really short period of time if you're in a crunch, or more of a steady way of eating. Whether you like to eat 2 times a day or 6 times a day, I outline how to do both, or 5 times a day or 4, whatever. And the strategy is to eat without counting calories and about having to stay, as lean as you want without putting on weight, and eating in a way that's realistic. And it's just a few chapters, but it's just laser-targeted, helpful information. In addition to that, I have a 12-week progressive fat torching cardio program. This is above and beyond any cardio information out there, and this stuff's even high level compared to what I talk about on my site. I have 4 different levels of high-intensity interval training, about the rest periods and intense periods. I talk about VO2 max training, which is a way of doing cardio, which will allow you to burn more body fat using other exercises. Any exercise that you use, you'll burn more body fat, or teach your body to burn more body fat. I talk about pyramid intervals, like hybrid cardio routines. It's all stuff that you would do on a treadmill, stair stepper, step mill, elliptical, that type of thing. How to get the most out of that section of the gym. And I believe it's fantastic. You'll get a lot from it. You don't have to use it in 12 weeks. You can pick and choose which routines seem to fit what you're after and stuff. So that one's great. And then I have a 229-page exercise demonstration manual. And this is the same one that I use for guys for the visual impact muscle building. And the only downside is it pictures mainly guys doing the exercises versus women. I just didn't want to have to take 200-something photos of a woman doing the exercises, but it's super helpful. You'll perform the exercises the same way, so you just got to get over that a little bit. But besides that, it's incredible. It has click navigation, so you'll go to your routine that you're after, and it'll list all the exercises that are listed in the main manual. And you click and go to that page, and at the bottom of each page you can click and go back to the workout page. So you're not scrolling at all, and it'll make sense when you use it. It's awesome, and the guys love it, so I know you will too. And then printable workout charts of all the workout routines, and this is real simple stuff. It's 1 page per workout routine, and that way you can just print it out and then fold it up and take it with you to the gym. And eventually you'll memorize the routines, but maybe for the first week or two you just bring it along with you, and it's super easy. Nothing to fill out. You just read it and then just perform the routines. Super simple. How much will it cost? Well, this was pretty easy to decide, just because I released a course for guys last year, and this one's substantially bigger than the men's course. But I didn't want to charge more than the men's course, and without getting into some hoopla of like, oh yeah, it's worth $2,000, but you're not going to get it for that, or it's not going to be $500 or whatever. I'm not going to get into all that. What I decided to do was just charge $47. And why I do that is I just want it to be a little bit less than a 1 hour personal training session with an average personal trainer. And most trainers even charge more than that these days. But to me, it's a no-brainer. If you were to pay me even $200 to sit down for 1 hour of a consultation, there's no way I could give you all this information in 1 hour. So I just wanted to make it affordable and something that you'll pay for once, and you'll be able to use it for years to come. This is customizable, and you can tweak different things, and I have different approaches, whether you're approaching an event or when you can back off, that type of thing. So to me, I just wanted to make it just affordable and just really a unique course out there for a great price, a great value, and I'm really excited about it. So my suggestion is if you want to have the slim and lean feminine look and don't want to make a lot of the mistakes out there that trainers are teaching you, pick up the course. I think you'll like it. And I have an order button down right below this video for people who read my blog and know a bit about me. But for those who are less familiar, that's what the sales page is for. And I know sales pages are cheesy typically, and it's kind of a necessary evil, though. I don't want to make it really long or anything like that. I'm just going to try to stick to the basics, not have too much hype or anything like that. But kind of tell you a little bit more about each book and stuff. And just feel free to read that page. And at the bottom, there'll be another order button. I mean, I'm not going to hide anything here. And it's a digital download. You get it immediately. And that way, when I have an update, you'll get lifetime free upgrades too. So anyway, one last thing, I'd like to thank you for watching this presentation. I know your time is valuable, and there's tons of other things you could have been doing online. And whether you decide to purchase the course or not, I appreciate your time. So anyways, thank you. Have a great day.